Hello, brothers and sisters. It's a new week. We are very, very happy to welcome you to a new edition of our show titled Speak of Africa. Brothers and sisters, before we start the show of today, we want to say thank you. A lot of you are sharing the show, and we're having more viewers. We thank you for all what is happening. From the very beginning, we have told you Speak of Africa is your show. In the next few months, we want to also add a live show to this show. We want to be able to get people who are everywhere, whether you're in Africa, China, Japan, Russia. We want you to be able to participate in a summit, an African summit, where we debate African problems. Because if we start doing this, we're going to draw a whole lot of Africans, we're going to bring them to the table. So this week, as we say, the purpose of this show is to raise your level of perception. There are many shows out there. Our show is special because we are different. Instead of just parroting the news, what we do is we try to put what is happening in Africa in context. So how was Africa this week? This is the subject of the show of today. As usual, we're going to focus on a few countries to give you the temperature of the motherland. We're going to choose at least 6 or 7 countries in the motherland, and we'll try to use them to paint a picture of Africa's issues. Most of these issues still happen to be issues of bad governance. We need good governance if we have to solve our problems. Africa's problems are rooted in bad governance. That's really the message we've been having on this show every week. And for the show of today, we're going to use 6 or 7 countries to illustrate what we're talking about. So we're going to take you now straight to Ambazonia. And I know you guys know we always start with Ambazonia because it's the letter A. Ambazonia, from this week, we're going to start telling you what is happening. For a long time now, as you know, there's been a civil war raging in that part of the world, in the motherland. We have a French colonial government that is against the aspirations, the self-determination of the people of Ambazonia. So the people have been fighting, and you've been following us every week. So our people in Ambazonia were able to crush the bee myth that they are invisible. The invincibility of the bee, Bataillon d'Intervention Rapide of Paul Biya, that myth was demolished when a certain Field Marshal Nopiri, with his group, decided to break armored cars, crush them, and before, the people of La Republique used to say it's a lie. But because Field Marshal Nopiri and his group was using videos and cameras, they were able to take pictures of what was happening. So there's no way La Republique is going to say this time it's a lie. So you see why they said a camera don't lie. A picture tells stories using many words, right? So when we look at this, we just start laughing. So there's a big manhunt, and there's been a big manhunt for Field Marshal Nopiri, and that's what was going on. And we understand that La Republique has taken instructions from Paul Biya to increase the level of militarization in the English-speaking regions. Is this going to be much of a difference? We don't really think militarization is going to change the status quo. For over 4 years, La République du Cameroun has been hanging on the statics of militarization. But where have they gone? They have not really gone far. Instead, the Amber Restoration Forces have upped their game, and they are breaking and crushing those military vehicles, armored vehicles with explosive devices. And this is the shame, and it is humiliating La République. From what we understand now, a lot of the militia of Mr. Paul Biya's Bulu tribe, those guys are really defecting. They're deserting the army and running from one area to another. So it's really sad. Even though Mr. Paul Biya is a hardliner, but the handwriting is on the wall. He's losing the war. He has lost the propaganda war of psychology. So right now, the morale of the soldiers in La République is very, very low. So many of them now are invading Ambazonia, but they are afraid. Before, they used to kill ordinary civilians, armless civilians, for no good reason. But today, the Amba Restoration Forces are giving them a run for their money.
Now. Now for square, so now so that we picking them. Now for squares. No dog, no day, no dog, no the bike for Kumu. Now for square, so no dog, no day. Bad. Sopa, na sopa. Bon vitesse pas. Na so, muje. Na so pa. One spirit.
So it's not a joke. They know that Ambazonia is not just Alice in Wonderland. It's a serious place to be. It's hell. So they know this. And Field Marshal No Pity has pictures and videos of the coffins where they put these La République dead soldiers. They ship them back home. But sometimes he just burns them. He just burns them because he doesn't want them to go back. So if you're a soldier from La République du Cameroon, if you value your life, please do not go and fight in Ambazonia. That's the best advice we can give you. So Field Marshal No Pity and his group are not alone. You have other groups like the Bui Warriors and other groups in the northwest like 7 Kata of Bafut. Then of course you have guys also in the southwest region. So these guys are just playing games. They are dribbling La République in like a game of soccer. Whenever they are in the southwest, the guys move to northwest. When they're in the northwest, they move to the southwest. So La République cannot even be everywhere at once. The army of La République is really stretched very, very thin. This is not even a very sophisticated army. It's an army of less than 15,000 personnel. So they are stretched too thin. The morale in this army is very, very low, very, very low. So last week, Betty Asomo Joseph, the Minister of Defense, went to Bamenda to try to boost the morale of his forces. He was talking about a change in strategy. But a change in strategy is not even going to help these people because the fundamental problem here is a political problem, not a military problem. So the problem really needs a political solution, real dialogue, real attendance to the problems that cause this war. But they are glossing over, they don't want to accept the reality. Last week, we even showed you the stages of grief and loss. And La République is stuck in denial. And that's what the problem is. As they are stuck in denial, they are talking about a change in strategy. Just playing the old tricks of divide and rule, divide and conquer, pitting Northwesterners against Southwesterners of Ambazonia, that tactic is not working anymore. It is true. All peoples, even in the United States, people from different areas, they have issues with others. But they resolve those issues. They recognize the fact that they are Americans. So we think La République is not going to succeed by just dismissing these people and telling them that you cannot live together with people from the Northwest. Southwesterners cannot live with Northwesterners. That old trick cannot work again. It's like you have to teach the elephant how to tap dance, and it's really tough. But La République is an elephant that cannot learn how to tap dance. They can only do things the old way they have been doing them. They cannot change. In order to win the war in Ambazonia, they need to change strategies. But they are stuck in their old ways, in their colonial ways that are not working anymore. When you look at even what is happening this week, there's more harvest. A lot of La République soldiers are dying again. And they are breaking into their armored cars. And you can even see pictures and videos of the Amba Restoration Forces winning the war. They are killing more La République militia. When they are in military action, they seize a lot of weapons. So now, somebody asks us, where are the guys in Ambazonia, where are they going to get the weapons to fight La République? Well, where are they going to get the weapons? They are going to get their weapons from B. B is giving them the weapons for free. Interestingly, the restoration forces of Ambazonia are getting these weapons for free. All they do is they just seize the weapons from B and use them against the same B. So it's really an interesting turnaround in this war of liberation. Before, the Biya army was seizing then guns and machetes and cutlasses and sticks from these Amba restoration forces. But the guys have upped their game. Now they are just taking the weapons. So the more they send B to attack Field Marshal Nopiri and his gang, boys, the more the effort of seizing these weapons. So they call it harvesting. It's just like you have a farm. You just go and take it. You don't have to pay money for it. Those weapons cost a whole lot of money. And all what the restoration forces of Ambazonia are doing, they just seize the weapons from the B. So that's where they get the weapons. So people are talking about foreign sources of weapons. That's a lie. These weapons come from B. So B is the main supplier of weapons to the restoration forces in Ambazonia. So it's really interesting that they are supplying their enemy. But the Ambazonia restoration forces are really happy. You can watch all the videos which show that they are getting all these weapons. Okay? Then when we look at La République, the only story that we see in La République which is worth mentioning is registration of land. They have a serious problem with land registration. I'm an expert in real estate. I know what obtains in the United States. It was borrowed from England, where you have a chain of title. When you have land, you can transfer this land from one party to another, and there is a clean title. So you can transfer it easily. Whenever the chain is broken, you fix it. This is the kind of system that Cameroon needs to develop. But these colonial Cameroonians are not thinking. So they will never think about it. If they need help, I will help them for free because I'm an expert. I'm a real estate expert. I'll be able to show them how to develop a title system such as the one that obtains in the United States or Britain. And I'm also a computer expert, so I can even develop the program so that they can use it easily. Okay? Because right now you have a lot of congestion in the major cities like Douala, Yaoundé, because people just want to run away from poverty in the rural areas to come to the main cities. But then when they come here, land is scarce, so there's overpopulation, and the whole place is filthy. So it's really sad, and we think we've given you enough information on Ambazonia and La République. Even the Catholic Church has also weighed in. It's tough on the ground, and La République would even have tougher days. So the plan to use heavy tanks and helicopter gunships is going to fail, okay?
Hey, yo, Shape, I thought you was going to take me to this place so I could get my taxes done. You know I'm trying to buy a new house. What's up?
Let's get it on. If you're searching for a house, call up my man Prince Ojong, the best in real estate. Take it from your guy Shape. When I say his services are the best in the states where it's born, he even take care of your tax forms, back refunds. So come, get your business done. Consultations, financial organization, fast processing, no waiting. This man is amazing. The Prince.
Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131.
So we'll move now to CAR, which is the Central African Republic. This week, much of what is happening in the Central African Republic is you have Faustin Archange Touadéra and his government, which is supported by the Wagner Group of Russia, who are beholden to Vladimir Putin. A lot of Europeans, especially the French, are not really happy with this arrangement because Russia has just come and taken their territory from them. So the French are not happy. And Mr. Faustin relies so much on the Russians. So you have a whole lot of those service advisors. In fact, it's just like you have a private company which is linked to the Kremlin, and they're the ones supporting Touadéra. They bring soldiers, they advise them, and they train them. But in return, what do they want? They want the mining resources of the Central African Republic. We have a lot of pictures to show you the way Russia is exploiting these people. It's like you trade one foreign colonial power for another. You're trading France for Russia. All of them want the same thing. They want the stuff that comes from there. In fact, it was Alain Foka who said in a video that when you have your country, Touadéra needs to learn that don't just stay in power because you want power. You want to help your country. He cannot make peace with the rebels because Francis Bozizé is still fighting to return to power. And Touadéra wants to stay in power. So it's creating a logjam. So they will continue to be fighting. And the people of Central African Republic will continue to be slaves of Russia. You see pictures of the people working in the minefields because there's a bloody gold rush in the Central African Republic. The United Nations is very, very ineffective. It's a very dysfunctional organization. They cannot really do much to address the problem. And of course, you know that without the United States of America, there's no United Nations. Because when US is involved, that's when there's the UN. But Russia is a very tricky country. They don't really care about real politics. They don't care about the interests of any other person. They worry about what gets into their stomach. So they just care about their interests. It's sad when you look at pictures of Central Africans working in those minefields, looking dirty and working in very poor conditions. It's very, very sad, shaggy places. It's very, very sad when we see what is happening. But from Central African Republic, we move to Congo DRC. Well, Congo DRC is a good country. We love this country, and we always took you back to the 1960s, like when Patrice Lumumba became prime minister, when the country became independent from Belgium. And when Patrice Lumumba was assassinated, we talked about it a whole lot on this show, and we even talked to you about the song that was composed for him, Lumumba Héros National. This week, information reached us about a new book that has been published by a British author. This book is linking Louis Armstrong, the famous American jazz pianist, that he was involved in the killing of Patrice Lumumba. The CIA used him unwittingly to gather information about the Katanga area of Moïse Chombe. But Louis Armstrong did not really know he was being used as a Trojan horse in this devilish plan. But he contributed. When you read this book, I think you'll get more information on the killing of Lumumba and the role that Louis Armstrong played. He's an African American. It's really sad that they use him in this way, but he did not know it. So we feel sorry for him for being foolish and not really being careful. But they use him. Of course, we have another story on Congo DRC. This has to do with a journalist who has been imprisoned in Congo DRC by the government of Felix Antoine Tshisekedi. This is the son of a freedom fighter. Now that he has taken power from Joseph Kabila, we're thinking he'll introduce a new reign of independence and freedom in Congo. By contrast, he's introducing more dictatorship, just like Joseph Kabila. Why did he arrest the journalist? His name is Pierre Faustin Kimbadi. Pierre Faustin Kimbadi is a journalist working for Actualité CD. So he was investigating a story, and they killed 2 UN workers in cold blood. So Pierre Faustin Kimbadi was able to work on this story and gathered all the intelligence and even the tape of the killing of these UN, United Nations workers. So Felix Tshisekedi was very upset. Where did this journalist get all this information and reveal it to the whole world? So that was his crime. Because of that, when he went to the Congo, they arrested him in his hotel. It's very, very sad the way they treat journalists. Because of this, we're going to start paying more attention to what Felix Tshisekedi is doing. He's not really a serious guy, and we think arresting Pierre Faustin is not a good thing, and we want you to start watching, because you know that these people don't want you to report on the mining that is going on there, because there's a whole lot of blood mining going on in Congo DRC, around the North Kivu region. They don't want you to talk. When you talk, your life is in danger. So you can see this. Why is this guy a president? So he's just serving the interests of foreign mercenaries, not the interests of the Congolese people. So then why are you surprised when the Congolese people stay poor all the time. They're still poor because nobody is working for their interests. Even the leader, who is supposed to be their president, does not work for them. He works for multinational corporations. So that's the sad story of Congo DRC. Then even the governor of the capital, Kinshasa, does not want people to protest because he doesn't want to see protesters. So it's really sad. It looks like a reign of terror is coming to that part of the world. And we're just warning you to watch out and pay attention. Next, we'll go to Ghana. Ghana also is a country we love a whole lot because Ghana is a very important country in Africa. They are small, but they are very dynamic. Their leaders are trying to lead their people out of poverty. But recently, we've been concerned with the amount of African debt. There's a whole lot of debt going on. So Ghana too is also a victim. Our leaders borrow a whole lot of money. Why are they borrowing a whole lot of money? They want to get a lot of commissions. So they are not borrowing the money because they want to help the country. So one of you guys sent us a video which shows somebody demystifying what is happening with most of these foreign debts. They borrow the money because they want to make commissions. There's a company called Black Star. Black Star is a brokerage firm that does asset management. So when they borrow money from, say, China or the IMF for Ghana, then they make a lot of commissions. They create fake companies to represent the country. But actually, the companies belong to them. So they siphon this money before the money can even get to Ghana. It's sad. Take a look at the video.
Only recently, you would have seen that the Bank of Ghana has reported very alarming figures for our national public debt. And that figure that was reported by the Bank of Ghana excludes the $3 billion that we recently borrowed. Even if we are to use $1 billion of that to refinance maturing debts or to call back other bonds that were issued, our public debt portfolio should now be in the region of $320 billion. That means that in a little over 4 years, we've added about $200 billion to our public debt. It is becoming very clear that the phenomenal growth in our public debt is influenced largely by some people at the Ministry of Finance who have made borrowing their private business.
Thank you for watching the video of Black Star.
Now more than ever, it is critical that medical facilities utilize modern, reliable electronic health records. Introducing Alexia HTC, the innovative, affordable online solution for physicians and patients. Doctors' visits, diagnoses, prescriptions, and billing have never been easier. With Alexia HTC, you can work more efficiently with the integrated flexibility medical professionals need today. Schedule a live demonstration. Call or visit us at alexiahtc.com.
Next, we're going to move to Guinea. Guinea has just had a coup d'etat. Some of you were asking, is this a good coup or is it a bad coup? As far as we are concerned, there's no such thing as a good coup. Even though the population seems to be happy because a dictator has been kicked out, but what is going to happen soon, as they will discover, is that that dictator is going to be replaced with another dictator. So the happiness is going to be short-lived. Already, we are told that Mamadi Doumbouya has brought in a new Idi Amin, who is like his mentor to the country. I think they call him Sidiki Kamara. Okay, so he's his mentor. He has just come back. So when we look at what is happening in Guinea, we're already nervous the way things would work out because there's so much uncertainty, but we don't want to lead you the wrong way. We're just observing, looking at the tea leaves, then we'll update you as things go on. From Guinea, we'll go to Mali. Mali too has had 2 coups d'etats. And this week, there's a whole lot of conflict between the French and the Russians. The French feel like the Russians are taking their place because Mali wants 1,000 soldiers from the Wagner group of Russia to come in and assist them with the security situation. The Operation Barkhane, which was French-led, is folding, and they just want help. And the French think it's a bad idea to bring Russia into the mix. But that's what Assimi Goïta's government has started doing. It's a new dictator who is going to tell him what to do. So we'll just have to watch. So it's really sad. with what is happening in Mali. Then, of course, Mali has told the French that, okay, you guys can still train our officers. So it's really sad. That conflict between Russia and France is going to continue for a while because Russia is taking on a former French colony. But the French feel this is their territory. Russia is not supposed to interfere. So let the big superpowers, let them fight their game, and let's see what Mali can get out of it. Finally, we want to go to Nigeria. Nigeria has a whole lot of stories. We told you before that Nigeria is having their independence on October 1st because that will be the 60th anniversary of Nigeria's independence. But how independent has Nigeria been? In fact, a lot of politicians and political scientists have dropped Nigeria off the list of pro-democracy countries in Africa. And Botswana is still there, but Nigeria has been dropped from this list because since Buhari came, the country has just drifted into dictatorship. You can see Buhari at the 76th UN meeting. A lot of Yoruba were protesting in New York, and Buhari asked American police, New York police, to arrest them. But they were just laughing at him. They no, we cannot arrest them. They have the right to protest. Then when you go to Nigeria itself, today we also got news that the Islamic State of West Africa struck and killed a lot of Nigerian soldiers a few hours ago. But when Buhari was at the UN, he was touting his achievement fighting insecurity in Nigeria. We think he was just grandstanding for no good reason because he has not been successful in stamping out insecurity. Today, a lot of Nigerian soldiers lost their lives because the Islamic State of West Africa struck very hard. This is a group that is a splinter group that is fighting Boko Haram. They even killed Sheku, the former leader of Boko Haram. So they are trying to fight for prominence. They struck and hit a whole lot of Nigerian soldiers, I think in Borno State. So it's really sad, and this is like updated news that we're giving to you. So we just need to be careful with this information, okay? So then next, you see IBOP was also a lot in the news today. But you remember, Nigeria is having its independence on October 1st in a very few days. So you think that, what have they achieved? And I think that's what A Dance of the Forest by Soyinka deals with. You're celebrating, you're dancing for independence. What have you really achieved? Think about it. Don't just dance. Think about it. But Soyinka has come up again with another novel. Since he wrote The Interpreters, now he's come up with a new novel which he just observes the current Nigerian scene. Just like Fela used to do, he would talk about what the problems that the common man in Nigeria is facing. So Soyinka chronicles this in a new novel that he has just published. I think the novel is coming out very, very soon, and we always like to read what Soyinka is doing. So this novel is actually a satire. We've looked at some of the excerpts. It looks like a satire on the current scene where it makes fun of the Nigerian leaders and the people in the society, the moral decay. So we look at it and we're like, wow. But of course, there are more stories too on IBOP, the indigenous people of Biafra movement. Their leader is in jail, but we got a lot of stories from IBOP this week because they are also collaborating with the Ambazonian movement in the other part of Africa. So they are neighbors and they are collaborating. So October 1st is going to be Nigeria's Independence Day, but the people of Biafra are not going to celebrate Nigeria's independence. Rather, they will be celebrating Ambazonia independence on October 1st. It's because you can see that the two groups are beginning to work together. What happens when they start working together? This is bad news for the Nigerian government. As foolish as the Buhari government is, they don't really understand the impact. They are going to make a deal with the government of Paul Biya, but they're going to lose. So we think we've come to the end of our show, and we thank you for watching this video. We're encouraging you to share and share and share and get prepared for the live show. Send us information on what we should do with the live show. We need your ideas. Bye-bye. May God bless you.
Is your EMR EHR COVID-19 ready? If not, you do not know what you are missing. Why do you suffer in silence? Be smart. Turn to Alexia HTC today. Alexia HTC is the leader in virtual solution and communication technology in these times of pandemic crisis. When the unexpected happens, who are you going to call? Alexia HTC. Come and see how Alexia HTC Cloud Communications are enabling your fellow healthcare providers to consult with patients virtually and making big money. Alexia HTC also enables your employees to work remotely during the COVID-19 crisis. Are your employees safe? Do not jeopardize the health and safety of your patients and practice. What can Alexia HTC do for you? Alexia HTC is the new Colossus, the sister of physicians, who gives you back liberty, that is, the freedom to practice medicine your way. Vivacious virtual visits wherever you please. Amazing e-prescribing. Quick access to patient information. Easy access to medical records from other providers. Rapid drug allergy checks. Integrated lab tests and results. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled doctors yearning to breathe free. The wretched refuse of your greedy corporations. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed physicians, to me. I give them the refuge. The happy home of Alexia HTC. Act now. Browse alexiahtc.com or call 240-350-1131.
Medical practice software is too old. Indeed, all the programs are built on MUMPS, technology of the 1950s, and the programs cost too much money. Epic and Cerner cost billions of dollars. Meditech costs thousands of dollars too. In fact, that's why we created AlexiaHTC.com, a new and free EMR/EHR for doctors. AlexiaHTC.com is built for HIPAA. Yes, magical one-screen technology, ease of use, quick charting, amazing e-prescribing, tight labs integration, multi-office difference, because we believe doctors and patients need a break today. Be the first to test drive AlexiaHTC.com. You have nothing to lose, you have everything to gain. Act now. Call 240-350-1131. Alexia Care Corporation at AlexiaHTC.com. Selling a service or a product? Need buyers? Use the African Nation TV as a channel to reach many viewers. Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131. Act today.